Hi, and welcome to the HackCess Show. It's the place where you can find life hacks on how to become the best version of yourself and achieve your goals. We show you how to walk the talk from successful people. And today we're joined by Giselle Gant. Thanks so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Hello. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're really happy to have you here. And
Yeah, me too.
So how can you tell us more about yourself just in a few words?
I'm an actor based out of America. I'm a New York native, so I have a little rough around the edges. I've done a lot of theater. I've been acting since I was 5. Done theater all around the world, and it's my first love and my passion. I don't think it's ever going to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you first started, maybe you had a specific vision in mind, and what it is now, and then maybe how did it change, from the start?
Yeah, so I think both my parents were actors. So growing up and watching them just do this as a job really sort of grounded me in one way.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I really thought that I was just going to be a star. It was just natural. Like I was going to be the biggest thing since sliced bread, and it was just going to happen. And as the years waxed and waned on, and those $1 million movies didn't just come flooding in, I sort of had to reevaluate what I thought this job was, why I'm doing it, and what's going to keep me going with it. So I think the difference was, star-based versus this is a job that I like to do.
Yeah.
Like, maybe an accountant likes being an accountant. They keep doing it, not for the fame of being an accountant, but just because that's what they love to do. And I sort of had to reframe my brain
Yeah.
in that direction.
Maybe not just go for the one hit movie, but maybe do it on a consistent basis.
Right. I think success is doing something, that you love to do consistently. And, you can get paid for it and live
Yeah.
off of it. Right. I think that's the biggest thing. But I think, I would really feel like I've made it if I'm working consistently.
Yeah.
And, that's my primary income.
Good.
And you talked about reevaluating that vision you had and what you wanted to do. Did you also have to reevaluate the things that help you grow? Did networking stay as important as it was in the beginning, or how did that change for you?
Yeah, I'm going through a stage right now where I have to really reevaluate social media. Not very good at it. And of course, I'm thinking, why would I have to be amazing on Instagram or have a YouTube channel? Because, I just go in for an audition, I should be fine. And then I got denied a job because I didn't have enough Instagram followers. I said, okay. So I really need to reevaluate my relationship to Instagram and Twitter and figure that out and figure out how I can still be me, still do what I like to do, still be my insane self on my own terms on social media and make it work for me.
So maybe it's something you wish you would have done better from the start, just growing an audience on Instagram. Yeah.
Yes, I think that would have been tremendously helpful for my career.
Yeah.
Is growing an audience or sustaining it. I would do a couple of things on Instagram and then that's it. Or have a little show here and then the consistency I think would have really helped me.
Gotcha.
And would you have been happy to kind of sacrifice the privacy, because putting your life like that on social media, it does demand a certain sacrifice of parts of your life that now you have to share with everyone. Do you think that people should be willing to make that sacrifice in order to achieve success as an actor?
Well, I think maybe this is a naive way of thinking, but I think you can separate the two. I personally think that you can separate the two. I don't put all my life on social media, and what I do put on there should be to continue my career and not so much have my private life being invaded.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. For a while, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stay away from social media, and I don't really like the mentality. But now we're doing a YouTube show, and I think it's really good to be able to inform people and do it as like when I was watching TV as a kid, just getting programs and good information, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you don't know, everything about whoever, but you know some things and you keep watching because you like the personality, you like the person, you like what they're telling you. You know what I mean? You don't need to
Yeah.
know all their ins and outs.
Exactly. So what was a big milestone for you in your career?
So I was thinking about this question, and I think that I've done a lot, and it's been random things that I can look back on and say, "Wow, I can't believe I did that." Like that's really cool. But I think the one that really did something for me emotionally, mentally, spiritually was I actually wrote and starred in my first one woman show that I did in England in conjunction with Le Fool Theater Company. And it was directed by Natalie Adlam, and we wrote it together. And it was a very huge milestone for me because it was something that I saw other people do, but didn't think that I had the capacity to do it. And then just jumping out there and doing something. I'm not going to say if it was brilliant or it was trash, but it was something. And I was able to do it. And I saw it and I said, wow, I can do this.
Yeah.
So that really propelled me to keep writing, keep trying to create my own work, keep, thinking of myself as a creator rather than just an actor.
Yeah.
And it really changed a lot in my psyche with that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense to me, but ask you, how did writing and creating these characters help you act better, or did it maybe worsen your acting skills because you felt like you were more cerebral? How did it affect that?
That's a very good question. I think I can remember a couple of shows where I'm just sort of like thinking about, does this sound right, rather than what, my acting. But I like to create things that I don't see. I also like to write and create for myself because I'm a very unique kind of character, and no one is creating for Giselle. Giselle needs to create for Giselle. Giselle needs to write for Giselle because Giselle is kind of bonkers. So the things that come out of my mind, I find them amazing and funny, and I feel like other people would too. So in writing for myself, I find a release. So it's easier for me to do these things that I create. It's easier for me to jump into these characters that I create because they've sort of been rattling in my brain for a while. So it's way easier than interpreting someone else's words and thoughts. I can do that as well, but this one's just way easier because I already know what I'm thinking and talking about, you know?
Now, what do you think are requirements to be able to actually create like that on a daily basis? Do you have a process or rituals like that?
So a ritual that I need to do that I'm not consistent with is writing every day.
Yeah.
Just getting your thoughts out and just writing it down, just doing it, just saying, you know what I mean? I have skeletons of bits and pieces of work scattered everywhere, and just, keep going because they might form into something later. And it keeps your imagination going. I think imagination is one of the biggest things that we can't allow ourselves to sort of not have. And I find myself, when I consume too much film and television, I start to lose my imagination, sort of start to think like whatever it is I'm watching or consuming. And so reading and learning about different things, watching a lot of documentaries really gets my brain going and keeping my imagination alive.
Yeah. I think it's good to be instead of being in a position to react, when you consume a lot of stuff, even for me, like when I watch a lot of YouTube videos or stuff like that, I feel like I'm just reacting and the creative process kind of gets shut down. But when I'm just by myself, like during the weekend and stuff like this, and I go hiking or don't look at the computer for a while, and then I get creative all of a sudden. Let's have like notes everywhere. Yeah.
Nature is a great one for me. I love going into nature, and that just sort of unlocks certain things in my brain. Also, playing with little kids. I have been living in New York for a very long time. So now I've come to California and I'm around all my family. and the little kids, like just playing with them because their imagination is
Crazy.
wild.
Yeah.
It's insane. And what they come up with a string and a ball, and you're just sort of like, okay, let's play. And that playful spirit is so important. And I think a lot of actors, we forget to have that playful spirit, and we lose it a lot, especially creators and actors, whatever. And so, you know, just playing with little kids has activated that for me.
Yeah.
You know,
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, and do you feel like you get a lot of inspiration from children to maybe create, or just that you apply to characters that you have to embody? Do you find yourself using it more in writing or in acting?
Children, I'm sorry, let me just understand your question
Yeah,
again.
the inspiration that you get from a child, does that help you more in writing or in acting?
I think it helps me more in acting, because if just playing with children and watching their bodies go and how free they are with their bodies, how free they are with their voices sometimes. They're very loud. They're very, you know, when they want to whisper, it's a stage whisper. And, you know, how serious and, you know, serious things are, whether it's like, I need ice cream or I'm tired. Everything is very immediate. And that, you know, feeds into characters. I'm a character actor. So watching them do all this stuff is just brilliant. And playing with them allows me to do that when I'm, you know, when I'm on my downtime for acting, when I'm not in a project or anything.
No, I do understand that. And that's very interesting to me. And you said that you're a character actor. And can I ask you, how do you take these traditional acting rules that we all have to follow, you know, Meisner and Stanislavski, and break them down and make them into your own thing? How much do you do that? How much do you create your own acting rules?
Well, I think it's about learning about a lot of acting rules, right? I think by knowing Meisner and Stanislavski and Michael Chekhov and things like that, really learning about them, you take what works from each one, and then you sort of build your own sort of jambalaya, or, you know, gumbo of the things that work for you. And it works for you because, you know, those are the things that resonate for you. I'm not going to sit and do Meisner all day. That doesn't work for me. It doesn't. Like, I can't. But there are some things in Meisner that make sense, and I'm like, aha, I get it. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? Uta Hagen, aha, thank you so much. And I make it my own. That's all you can do, I think.
Yeah, I think that's how you build your own talents and just your own personality and your acting style as well.
Yeah. And if you're savvy enough, you can write it down and sell it. And then you can be another, you know, acting guru.
Yeah.
But, you know.
And when you act, do you see your projects you work on as work, or is it more you see it as progress during your career? What's your vision on that?
So most of it, I see it as fun and an opportunity to play and get paid for it. There have been some jobs, I'm not going to lie to you, this is truth time, I'm not gonna lie to you, that have been tedious and, you know, sort of like, okay, this is work now, because there's no room for me to grow or play or try new things. Or maybe it's that I feel that there's no room for that. I think there's always room for that. You can always try and do new things. Maybe I'm limiting myself, but I mostly find it as fun and, you know, exciting, and always an opportunity to learn.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to do a little bit of stuff you don't like to do just to be able to do the rest and have fun all the time.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. I really do agree that sometimes work or jobs that we have in acting can feel like work, but what helps me is actually having an ultimate goal, you know, a place that I want to get to, and then I just kind of view as little steps. Do you have an ultimate goal that kind of helps you persevere and go through those moments and feel tedious?
Yes, and I think my ultimate goal has shifted quite a bit. I think, especially during this COVID time, I thought it was going to be one way and I was on my way to one thing, and then COVID happened. And so shifting and reevaluating, but I think my ultimate goal is to be a creator. I really look up to Issa Rae and folks like her, Black women like her, because they have really created their own stuff and have gone out and also created a platform for other people. And I think that's something that's really amazing, what I want to do ultimately.
Yeah.
That's my ultimate goal. Yeah.
And did you have maybe a plan B when you first started, if you couldn't reach this ultimate goal, or was it just acting?
There was no plan B.
Yeah.
And I think, I think that's why I'm still here today. There was no plan B, no plan B. I couldn't have a plan B. I think there's plan A.1,
yeah,
A.2, et cetera, but there's no plan B. I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
I'm not made for anything else.
Yeah. Do you think it helps to just focus on one thing instead of maybe get distracted with others, or?
Well, I think, I know I want to be in the world of arts. This is what I had to broaden my focus. So before I was just like, I can only act, I'm only an actor, that's it, that's all, that's it. And as the years went on, I had to allow myself to see myself in a bigger way.
Yeah.
A creator, a forever student. I love music. I love arts. I love other things. I love being able to help people. I love traveling. So how can I put all these things together in the world of arts?
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm learning how to sort of juggle, because I'm bigger than just acting. I think we're all bigger than just the one thing that we think that we're good at. We are so much more. And if we allow ourselves to expand, we can do great things.
Definitely.
I'm just waiting for my great thing to get in.
No, I do really get that. And yeah, and to you, I must say that you're not just an actor, you're so much more. You're a creator and you're a host as well, I saw. And I was lucky enough to actually see CentricTV and
yes.
and watch when I could. And I must say, can I ask you, how do you have, or how do you gain that confidence to be a host, to actually guide people through this show of yours? How does that work out? How do you gain confidence?
A lot of talking to yourself. Personally, I have to talk to myself a lot. I am one of those saying, like, come on, Giselle, you can do it. All right. Oh, he's coming over. All right. And turn on that smile and here we go. And you just sort of have to launch yourself in there. I personally, if I were left to my own neuroses, I wouldn't go anywhere. I wouldn't do anything. I'd be a mess. I think talking to myself a lot and really pumping up myself and believing that I can do this is 99% of the battle. Confidence, to me, for certain people, is something that you have to practice. And you have to practice and you have to practice. Fake it till you make it, or as we like to say in New York, sometimes you gotta lie to kick it, meaning like you just gotta just say whatever you need to be in the room, just, to just get it going for yourself. I think that it takes a lot of practice for people who are not inherent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And do you listen to yourself as well? When you give yourself that advice, are you able to take it, to internalize it, and to actually use it for yourself?
It depends on how pressurized the moment is. So for one example, I was hosting the BET Awards backstage, 2016. First time I ever done anything like this. Very nervous. It just dropped in my lap that day. And I was like, okay, I get there, Beyonce's in the building. I'm losing my mind backstage. Like, how am I going to do this? And I have to talk to myself like, you can't fail. So let's go, Giselle, let's stop. Let's just, and I had to listen to myself then. Moments like this, when you're in COVID and you're just eating cake and you're sitting around and you're saying like, oh, I need to like do some work. Yeah, Giselle, you need to do some work. You need to exercise. I don't listen to myself all the time, but in pressurized situations, yes, I have.
So you work well under pressure. That's good to know, at least.
I do work well under pressure.
And do you have a specific mantra, maybe, or favorite quotes?
Favorite quote? Oh gosh, no, I don't have a favorite quote.
No.
But my mantra is, you can do this. Other people can do it. You can do it. That's what I have to. I'm actually learning how to drive now. I'm certified.
Oh, really?
I don't know how to drive. So I'm in California, my auntie taking driving lessons, and I have to tell myself, Giselle, you can do this. Look at all the other people on the road. They can do it. You can do it. And that applies for anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, no, I do know what you mean. And can I ask you, do you have a mentor that can kind of help you in times that you don't have that confidence to tell yourself what to do? Or do you have that power within you?
So I lean on a lot of people, and I think I have a lot of like mini mentors. You know, I have friends that I find that are more successful, and I sometimes lean on them because they've known me for a while. I lean on my family a lot because they have unwavering belief in my abilities, more so than I see for myself. And it's those people who see more of you than you do that you really need to lean on and ask, and and talk through certain things with. So those are the people that I lean on. Like my auntie here, I lean on her a lot. So I'm like, I can't do it. She's like, yes, you can. Shut up. Let's get this car drive.
And how do you set your goals? Like just driving, did it just happen to you, or did you decide one day I'm going to drive, or was that a long life goal that you wanted to crush?
I thought eventually, like in New York, it's chic for you to be 40 and just get your driver's license. Very chic. But moving to California, I couldn't afford that chicness. I needed to learn how to drive, and I have a certain goal that I need to reach. That driving has to be a stepping stone. I have to get this done so that I can move on to my next thing that I have to get done so that I can get here and here and here and here. So, I have a vision board. I love vision boards. I think they're very powerful. And I manifest things that way. If I see it, I think it comes, and I believe it, and it happens. And so, I think those are the things that I do, just have goals set, your ultimate goal, and then work backwards from there. What do I need to do to get this? And if I want to be a star, well, I need to learn how to drive so I can drive myself around LA.
I like the process of reverse engineering. You have your end solution, and then you have to work backwards to actually get it. And you're like, okay, what's the step before that and the step before that? And you get to the point where you are like, it's me right now. So I know the steps. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and it's bite size, and you can handle that. You know what I mean? It's not this big, huge thing that's just overwhelming. It's small little bite-sized steps. I can get my driver's license. Okay, it's going to take however long, but I can do that. And then I can do this, and then I can do that. I can do all of these things. And once I check them off, I can see how far I've come.
Yeah, by taking it one step at a time. And are you patient? Like, are you okay with waiting for things to happen, or are you more of a let's go out there, let's get this done type of person?
I'm terribly impatient. I'm terribly. It's almost to my detriment. I'm terribly impatient. I'm working through that. Listen, we're all a work in progress. I'm working through that. Terribly impatient. But I think as long as you're putting one foot in front of the other and you're working towards something, like I also have a tendency of being impatient when I'm not doing anything. And sort of like, well, sis, what are you doing? Nothing. You can't be impatient. Like, make something happen. And then you can see, the fruits of your labor. But I think if you keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep working, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't have to be patient and wait for things to happen. As long as you're working every day, it helps skill.
Exactly. Exactly, because you're working towards your goal. And if you can see that you're working towards your goal and you're checking off little things that you've done, that you've accomplished, you know.
Yeah, exactly. At first, when I started, I thought patience was just waiting between, you know, when you do something, put it in motion and just wait for it to happen. But actually, you actually put it in motion and do the little steps in between. And that's
Little
patience
steps.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you do something on a daily basis maybe that helps you grow, or maybe meditation that helps you with being more patient?
Yes. So I'm Buddhist. I was born Buddhist. So we have a daily practice. And it really puts certain things in perspective, especially when I'm getting anxious about things or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's a daily practice. But I also read a lot. I like reading, and I think reading helps me grow. Reading helps me create characters. Reading helps my imagination a lot, and just that little thing of reading really helps as well.
Yeah.
But meditation, of course, to center someone, you know, to get your mind together and your spirit together, I think is important and valuable.
And do you do mostly personal growth reading, or inspirational, or fictional to help you write, or everything?
Fictional, yeah, I do. Well,
Yeah.
I do a lot of things. So fiction and nonfiction. I I often mused that if I weren't an actor, I'd be a historian
Yeah.
because I love history. I love learning about things. I love just finding out about stuff. So I will watch documentaries. I will read nonfiction, but then also fiction gets that mind going.
Exactly.
And so I like both of those things.
Yeah. I must say I admire your ability to get that inspiration, that creative inspiration from so many different things, children, books, all that. And but is there something that kind of emulates the whole process for you, something that you can't live without, that is just your creative fountain of youth?
Hmm, that's a great question. Something I can't live without. Creative fountain of youth. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Um, I probably, oh, I don't know. I'm gonna say something that's probably like shishi or whatever, but and very hippie. But one thing I can't live without, and I think that I find helps me in, oh God, I think it's laughing.
Mm.
Because you know, I'm a natural comedian. I'm a, you know, character actor. Talking with my friends or my family is hysterical, and laughing with them and just talking about different things and coming up with stuff that really gets my mind going. That really gets my creative juices going because I'm like, oh, I can put that in something, or that's a perfect moment, or do you know what I mean? Like, I think that's it. Ooh, I gotta think about that. I'll get back to you if I come up with anything else.
No, I
Yeah,
think it
please
makes
do.
sense. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Sometimes, you know, you see writer, they have to be depressed and maybe alone in the cabin in the woods, you know, just to write. But some people need
Yes.
to be, yeah, just happy, and you know, it helps the creative mind. And when you're happy, you're in the
Yes.
good place, and then you want to write. Yeah, I think it makes sense. It's just
Yeah.
it's your personality is like that, and you want to laugh to actually
Yeah.
drive you to write. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I used to write poetry, and I only wrote poetry when I was like crying and upset. And I was like, I just mounted some poetry, and I'm just like, I'm tired of writing poetry. I don't want to be upset anymore. I don't want, like, that's not what I want anymore. And so laughing is
Yeah.
a different situation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah, it
uh,
certainly is.
what would be the best advice you ever received? I like to put you on the
That
spot.
winter, what'd you say?
I like to put you on the spot like that.
Yeah, you did. And I was like, oh. Um, it's actually from our Buddhist practice, and one of the phrases in there is that winter always turns into spring. No matter how bad anything is, no matter how bleak it is, winter always turns into spring. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Just keep going, keep going. I think that is the best advice I have received, because, you know, even when I think that my career is just like in the dumps, keep going.
Yeah.
It's just now, it's just a season. It's just a season. You know what I mean? And I have to keep telling myself that.
Yeah, I have one like that too. It's similar. It's always dark before the dawn, you know. But
Yes.
I like the fact that it's, you know, it's almost there, you know. So it's like you're like, yeah, good. I'm having all the crap in the world, and this way, it's
Yes.
gonna all the good is gonna come out soon, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's right there. Just keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah. Don't give up. Yeah, I think that's the biggest one.
yeah, that's good. I think we can end the questions here. And if you want to promote anything, do you have any current, future, past projects you want to share?
No, I'm just working on some projects now. We hopefully they will be up at some point, but I'm just working on projects now, and I'm on Instagram at Giselle Gant. Um, that's it. That's
Let's get
it.
the Instagram growing.
Right, get my Instagram growing.
That was a great show. That was a great show.
Yeah.
He has so much energy. I love that.
Oh, she really does. No, she really does, and it was really. I mean, I could feel it from through the screen, and that's not an easy thing to do because you
Yeah.
know that dynamism that just comes from comedy. Actually, as an actor, I can tell you that for certain. That actually really does come from comedy. You know, just hanging on each and every word, and going fast like that. That's something that you can learn. But what are you learning from this interview? What are you going away from this whole thing with?
A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. I don't even know where to begin. Like she talked about
Yeah.
so much good stuff. She gave so much. Like the information was so valuable.
Mm.
I think the creative part and the part about, you know, laughing, and the part about her family being hysterical and helping her to write as well. I think that's a good thing, because sometimes people look for inspiration in weird places, or they think it's like out of their reach, and it's
Mm.
good to be able to know your personality and to just adapt. And you know you're funny, you're a funny person, so you need, you know, comedy around you to be able to get into this creative space, you know
Mm.
what I mean.
I do know what you mean. Yeah, surrounding yourself with people who are like you or who feed your energy rather than take it away,
Yeah,
feed on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, for me that made sense. Also, I mean, everything that she said, I was pretty much okay with, and for myself, I understand why I understood what she was saying more than I thought I would at the beginning when she
yeah,
started off going into the spiritual side. Um, you can be spiritual and religious. We've bastardized the terms, but actually they do go hand in hand. And I find myself actually adopting most of these Buddhist ideas like meditation, surrounding yourself with this energy. And I think, and I just had the proof that that can actually change your outlook on so many things. Winter, what was the quote that she gave? It was beautiful. Winter always turns into spring.
yeah,
Yeah, and to me, that's a beautiful concept, and that applies to every single situation, even vice versa. It can be great, but you always have to keep into account that it can get cold again. It can be winter again, and so for me, this whole idea of just keeping on, just to keep on,
yeah,
Matthew McConaughey talked just keep living is beautiful because there are so many things that are going to come to you, so many positive things and negative things, but behind those are going to be positive things. And it's just this endless cycle. And it's kind of, yeah, that's what I'm going away here with, actually, just a circle of positive energy.
yeah. And I think it's a good there's another way to look at that. It's that, you know, whatever happens right now, you're gonna have some good shit and bad shit. You know, it's winter right now and it's not looking so great, but there's gonna be a great season after that. And yeah, after that,
Yeah.
maybe you're gonna have a shitty season again. So just enjoy what you're doing. And you know, you're gonna have some good stuff and bad stuff. And whatever happens, at least do what you love. And yeah, have
Yeah.
fun, enjoy the journey. I think it's a
Yeah.
great way to sum it up, you know. And
Yeah.
and yeah, she talked about, you know, reverse engineering stuff as well, and that's a great practical way to think about it. You know, you have your ultimate goal, which is, you know, unattainable right now, but you can reach it, but you have to think about, you know, the step before that, so the step just before you're going to reach your ultimate goal, and so you look at the step before that and the step before that, and now you see that you're right here and you're like one step away from this one. So you just make plans, and little by little you get to your ultimate goal. And that's a great way to look at, you know, stuff you want to achieve in life that looks so hard to achieve right now. You can't reach them, but you know, you have an achievable plan. You know, you can make a plan and just get to it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the idea of having bite-sized things, I actually visualized that, and to me, it was really logical, because imagine, you know, you go to a restaurant, you ask the waiter for the biggest hamburger he has. He's gonna bring you something that you will never be able to eat in one bite.
Yeah.
However, if you know, give yourself time, if you're patient and you cut that burger in little pieces, I'm so hungry. That's why I come to this analogy. You can, you know, you can eat the whole burger, because once you kind of transcend the idea of time, of, you know, I have to be here as fast as possible. Once you let that go, you'll achieve anything, is basically what she's saying, that you can do it if you just give yourself the time, but don't fall into the idea of it's going to come anyway. You know, you do have to keep working at it. You do have to keep going, keep working on that daily, and eventually it will. It's just, like you said also, actually, you said being patient is actually doing all those little steps in between the big ones. And to me, that makes a lot of sense as well. So yeah, I mean, a lot of good stuff in everything that she said, but to me, those are the things that jumped out.
But yeah, that was a great interview. And thanks again to Giselle for coming and doing the show. And that was great. Thanks so much. Well, thanks so much for watching the HackCess Show.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Ooh, that was nice. You think they're going to do it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're going to do it.
Yeah? All right. Go get lunch?
That's what you want to do? Yeah, burger?
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Fries.
Yep. All right.
Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah?
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.